We are going to have to do headphones. I just realized something.
Yep. Back with you. You sound good.
Is this a good spot?
You do not need to do anything different. From Indianapolis, Indiana, this is Truth It.
How was your New Year?
My New Year was fantastic.
What'd you do?
Most years we just stay home and actually end up hanging out with our neighbors who also stay home. So we'll pick one of the two houses and put together dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to drive anywhere. And we just relax and hang out.
Nice. Did you stay up through midnight or did you call it?
Yeah. Yeah, I always do. I always feel obligated. What about you? You didn't make it.
I was in bed, but I had the iPad on, so I saw it. But I was kind of dozing in and out.
You were done for.
I pretty much was, yeah.
Okay.
I watched the football game and that was it.
So you did nothing for the evening at all?
We went out to dinner, an early dinner, and then we came back and there were fireworks out at the beach. And then, that was it. Just kind of hung out. Yeah.
Fine.
It's cool.
And where did you go? I wasn't listening.
Rosemary Beach.
Okay. And tell me about Rosemary Beach.
Aaron can tell you more.
Is that, that's in Florida?
Yeah. It's just south of Destin by 27 miles or something, 28 miles. Lori found this really nice condo. It's a 3-story and you walk 20 feet and you go down a flight of stairs and you're on the beach.
I like
really
it.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
So we went to the grocery store, that Publix that you know all too well, Aaron, out there on the highway. It's the only one there. So we were there. We bought groceries, bought some liquor. Yeah, dude, it was so freaking relaxing. I mean, I didn't think about work. I slept like a baby. I slept at 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't done that. And I can't even tell you the last time I did that.
8 o'clock in the morning. Why'd you get up so early?
Dude, I'm usually up at 6. I mean, like bug
naturally.
Yeah. So I slept well. We didn't talk a lot about work. We just, I don't know. We enjoyed each other's company.
Do you think that people sleep enough in general?
No, not the people I know.
Like for just basic health.
Yeah, no. The people I know, no, not even close.
And how is it that we're surviving if we don't get enough sleep?
I don't know.
I mean, I remember for the first 15 years of my adult life, I fell asleep in every single movie. I went and
said this. I remember.
I fall asleep in every movie because they turn the lights down.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sitting still.
Yeah.
The lights are down, and then I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I even went and saw Jerry Seinfeld. I'm a big Seinfeld fan.
Yeah.
I went and saw Jerry Seinfeld live.
Oh.
And fell asleep, which is twofold. Part of the reason why I did that is because his comedy is so boring. The show's great, but the other reason is because
you're tired.
I'm tired all the time, and I don't feel tired until those moments come when the lights are down, and then next thing you know, I'm gone.
Yeah, the standing joke with Lori, if we go to a play or a musical, she'll be like, "Listen, mister, if you start snoring, you're in trouble." I'm like, yeah, I know. But same reason. I'm wiped out. I'm just wiped out.
But so there was eventually a point in time where I figured out that I needed to sleep more. And instead of staying up till midnight and getting up at like 6, I started staying up till midnight and getting up at like 7. So that's
Did it work?
Fantastic.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's been great.
Do you feel tired by Friday? Like when Friday rolls around, I'm wiped out.
That depends more on the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
But it is true that I would find that the weekend is a catch up day.
Oh God, yeah.
Saturday I'm sleeping as
Same.
long as my body lets me sleep.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Aaron, are you still a knucklehead and get out of bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to knock out that hour of your time?
No. I get up at 4:35.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 4:35.
No, he gets a
And
little
by
more
the
rest
way,
than you think.
And Daniel, here's another one of those. You've said this 15 times so far.
Please.
I want to make clear that my sleep schedule is not a discipline.
It's not.
That's when I wake up.
That's your natural wake up, 4:30 in the morning.
That's when I wake up.
So to clarify though, when you say you wake up and you're ready to get out of bed and go, or you just are awakened at 4:30.
And when do you fall asleep? Naturally, when you
good
get
question.
tired.
It depends on whether or not I'm having alcohol regularly, because as you know, it destroys everything.
It's true.
I mean, assuming you have alcohol within 5 hours of going to sleep, but
It's pretty
I
good
get
at cleaning
tired.
surfaces, by the way. So it does.
Yeah, and it's also great for day drinking.
Yeah.
It's the responsible way to drink.
Exactly. Exactly. But
There's a responsible way.
But tell me about
And I get
when you start to wind down, and you can, since you have qualifications, you can give me both versions. The alcohol version, give me the alcohol version, and give me the non-alcohol version of Aaron's wind down time.
well, I'm not sure I can recall the non-alcohol version.
All right,
Okay,
let's
it's
stay
been a
away
long
from
time.
So yeah, I usually start getting tired around 7:30, 8 o'clock. But that's also our rhythm of the household. Small kids, as
Yep.
Daniel, you probably remember.
I thought they were average
Like
size, personally.
Well, Cole's a little bigger than average.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah. It's, we get them into bed by 8. We try to get them 10 hours of sleep. Especially Cole, he's in that prepubescent, needs 10 plus, and then it's just easier to go to bed. But I will tell you, once I'm not, or when I'm not struggling with things like pain or drinking too late or anything like that, I actually tend to go to sleep around 9:10 and then wake up at 5, and that's great on my body.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
So-
6-7 hours.
So a
Suits me.
perfect time to fall asleep for you is 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. 10 is pushing it.
between 9 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I stay up past 10, I'm going to be up till like 1:30.
Really?
So kind of a rhythm thing.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
As Michael, as a Catholic, might be familiar.
So how do you think that people are getting through life in this world when, statistics tell us that people just don't get enough sleep? Like most people don't get enough sleep, especially with your typical family structure, work structure, all of that. How are people even alive anymore? Do you think that that's a reason why some of our disease state has reached the levels that it has?
I think it's multifaceted from a holistic perspective, from a physiological perspective. I think it transcends everything, right?
Stress is high for a lot of people.
Yeah. Stress, emotions. The other day, I want to try and tie this together. My UPS driver's away on vacation. So he's out having a great time. I get a different driver every day this week. This guy hits the horn. Rob, our driver, usually pulls in, unloads, takes everything that we have with him that day. This guy's out in front of the office hitting the horn. I walk out. I'm like, hey, man, you want to pull in? I'm not pulling in. I only have one box for you. I said, that's great. I got a bunch for you. I'm not taking anything. And I just laughed. I'm like, okay. And he said, you think I'm lying? And I looked at him. I said, no, I'm just laughing at the situation. I don't think you're lying. You want to come look in my truck? I'm like, no, dude. And then he just sits down and slams his little iPad holder thing and says, I'll be back. And I'm like, okay.
Wow, that guy was upset.
He just took off and he came back and I'm like, hey, man, do you need a hug? Like, I'm being serious.
You literally said that?
Like, I'm being serious.
You offered your UPS guy a hug.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I get it. You're stressed out of your mind. This isn't your route. Rob does it differently. Shit's happening. Your truck is a shit show. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm not angry at you. I'm not anything. I'm just trying to enjoy my life.
What did he say about the hug?
He laughed. He's like, no, I don't need a hug. But he said, thanks for saying that. And I'm like, yeah, the manly man, like, I was just like, dude. And I realized, after he left, I started thinking about it. I thought, was I being a jerk? Maybe I was being a jerk. I don't know. Maybe. But then I thought, he's probably it's not about me. It's about him and what he's going through. And I relate a lot of this stress that we're talking about or that I saw to not being in a good state of mind.
Yeah.
And that starts with a good night's sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that, or you have a shitty home life, or your spouse and you are fighting and you're not on the same page, I can't even imagine what that would feel like going into work every day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go to work.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think it's so important for people to, I think it's important that we find more balance in our work schedule, but I also think that everybody needs a break. So whatever your work schedule is, it's probably enough that you need a break.
Yeah. I
every
agree.
now and then.
I agree.
And so I took, as I always do, and I know you guys do as well, almost 2 weeks off over the holidays.
It's nice.
And I'm telling you, and the whole idea is unplug and don't think about anything but just relaxing. And so I did exactly that, except for I thought about work the whole time.
I did do that, and I didn't think about work. The 24th through the 2nd, I was disconnected.
And
I thought about work.
I should correct myself in that I thought about, usually what I do for the end of the year is I use it as an opportunity to recalibrate and think about what I want for the next year.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of thinking about what shit do I got to get done tomorrow,
Right,
or what problem do I have to solve this week, it's where am I at this time in my life, and how do I want to shape that for this next year of commitment to work.
It didn't help that you had a podcast while we were on break either. Two, thank you. But one in particular, the business one, that had to get your head spinning, right?
The podcast is a relaxation for me, though.
Yeah, but it's still business.
Yeah, it's business. It has a professional, angle to it in a lot of ways. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too, obviously.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here.
So I spent one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast with Darren, is ways to tell stories, right? So we talked a lot about that topic. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is how to actually incorporate video into this podcast, which has been, I think for all of us, we've thought of that as the plan all along, but the idea is, let's not burden ourselves with too much effort before we're prepared for it and work out the kinks and stuff. So what I ended up doing, you'll notice, Aaron, you see this black piece of hardware right here. There are 3 mounts around the room for mounting smartphones.
Oh.
I assumed you weren't going to wait very long to start fooling around with camera stuff. Yeah. Like, again, I wish Riverside had a local network product, because it's perfect, except if you're all in the same room.
Yeah. Well, the way that you can actually do it with Riverside, I think it actually works pretty well, because they have a lot of videos basically training you on the hacks that you can use the native features of their product for what you want to do. And you select, for every person that logs on, they select a mic and a camera. And so for this call with you, for the listener, this is our first hybrid episode ever, where some of us are in the studio and at least one person is not in the studio. I selected my iPhone as the camera, and I selected the mic. And so basically, if each person had a computer device, so it could be an iPad or whatever, and you log on to Riverside, you select your mic and you select your camera, and each person has their own, scene.
Quick question for you.
You could do that with smartphones.
Do you remember when we did that last year?
Yes.
Specifically, I do remember when we tried that in my garage.
I was in Vegas, wasn't I?
Nope.
No.
Were here. It was. We were
that's
all
correct.
local.
Yeah. You're right. It was in the garage. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And what we learned was the problem was that we were locally recording.
Mm-hmm.
To your point,
I do
if we
remember
use the cloud recording, I don't think we will have that problem with like the device freezing up. It might be perfect. I'm excited that you're playing around with that, because it seemed almost perfect.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've outfitted the room. I've actually bought another iPhone 15 Pro, and
every time I walk into the studio, it's becoming more studio and less office. I feel like next week when I come in, there's going to be like soundproofing matting on the walls.
Yes.
There
will be
egg foam.
Egg foam.
Yes. It's going to look really nice too. It's going to be great.
It. It's awesome. It looks super. Tax deduction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys pay attention to the news this week?
Oh,
Hopefully you haven't, Aaron.
I look at it like 15 minutes a day, just see what's going on.
Well,
before we jump there, can we just back up for a second?
yeah, let's go for
I
it.
want to go back to the whole sleep thing. Do you both think you get enough sleep?
I do now.
Yeah.
I think I have days where
Yeah.
I fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
where I have a theme for a few days in a row. But yeah, generally I get enough sleep. So my work, or my I don't mean work. My kind of my daily schedule, regardless of whether I'm at home or traveling or whatever else, is I don't get up until, so I am usually in bed. I said by midnight. I'm in bed maybe by 11.
Yeah.
And unless there's some kind of event going on that kind of stretches that time out. And then I wake up by 7. So I get 7 hours of sleep.
Yep.
And then I sit and have coffee for hour and a half. And so I'm relaxing for that first hour and a half of the morning.
So are you ready for the day before you have your coffee, or are you having coffee and then you get ready for the day? Meaning you've taken a shower and
Yeah, I'm ready for the day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since I'm working from home, I could be 80% ready,
Right,
or
right.
90% ready,
Right.
not necessarily 100%. So
Yeah.
for example, I'm showered, I'm dressed, but I may not put on shoes or whatever. I actually, even working from home, I work in shoes because what the routine I've established over the last 25 years is, if I don't act like I'm going to work, I'm going to perform
Yeah.
like I'm not at work.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. So Aaron, do you feel like you were shaking your head, yes, that you get enough sleep in a given day on
Yeah,
average?
and I have to because of my physical activity.
Yeah.
You know, I work out, well, other than the last 2 months, which interestingly, I haven't been sleeping a lot because I've not been exercising. So I don't need to recover as much.
Yeah. Right.
I sleep, I sleep when I'm tired. I wake up at the same time. I'm out the door by 5:30, either going to Pilates or open mat or to the gym to lift. I go real hard pretty early in the day. I'm usually done with all my workouts by 1:00. Because I have one first thing in the morning, and then I have jujitsu from noon to like 1:30.
Oh wow.
And then from that point on, it's pretty low key. It's eating, resting, drinking lots of water.
I've got meetings and production, and you've got 2 workouts in the day. I'm envious.
Well, I'm home working by 7, and I work from 7 to 11:30.
Yeah.
And then I don't eat during the day. So instead of a lunch break, I go get choked. And then I work
That was
from
my
about
nickname
1
in
to
high school.
get
awesome.
choked.
I get
Go get choked.
Choke. That's hilarious.
Choke turned in.
Yeah.
So I end up working an 8-hour day.
No, I get you.
If I have to, if I need to, I just
it's all
sort
good.
of break it up a little bit.
Do you guys
But I can't work out in the evenings.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like the last the break, I got plenty of sleep. I came back and I wake up in the middle of the night around 1 or 2 thinking about something.
Yeah.
And then I'm up. And I'm up for at least an hour, if
Mhm.
not 2.
Yeah.
And then I grab the phone or the iPad because now I'm curious about whatever it is I'm thinking about. So I hop on AI to confirm or deny.
Yep.
And then I lay back down, and sometimes I fall back asleep, sometimes I don't. It's been weird. There's no rhyme or reason. And I think a lot of it has to do with our next topic, by the way, which is Venezuela and the world and dictatorships and heads of states.
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
God
today.
almighty. So, I hear that shit and I sit down, I try to tune it out, and then I think to myself, what if that were me? What if, the what if, right?
So I think the thing that I'm wondering is, when you say what if,
I was on the receiving end of what's happening? And I don't mean
the
Maduro.
Venezuela
but
invasion.
more about ICE, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I do actually want to know what you would do if ICE was. I don't mean to use this word the wrong way, but antagonizing your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. So whether it's right or wrong of them to do it legally,
Right.
what would you do? What would you do?
It's a great question. When I think through this, I find myself doing some of the same things I see these people doing.
Mm-hmm.
Protesting, roadblock, right?
Yeah.
That's in me. That desire to defend or antagonize against the regime. I think that's part of the natural American culture, right?
Yeah.
And so when you see something like that happening, I know myself, I would want to stand up to help.
Yeah.
I'd want to participate.
To help who?
The individuals that are being antagonized
And who are they?
Well, that's a great question. In this particular case, I don't know if ICE can actually identify who they are, right? So it's the illegal immigrants or illegal aliens. They're not even
call it unauthorized.
Unauthorized.
Maybe,
There you go.
I don't like
Yeah,
illegal.
I don't
either.
either.
I saw unauthorized
either.
today. I thought that was better.
So we've got these. We have these ICE agents. That I'm beginning to wonder: are they even qualified? I don't even know if they're like. I watched the video of the agent shooting the woman, and there's no remorse. There's no empathy. He shot her, stood there, watched, walked over, acknowledged that he shot her. She's bleeding out. There's a gentleman on the side of the road saying, I'm a physician. I can help. Let me check for a pulse. No, you stay there. It's as if there's no regard for human life.
Right.
It's
so
appalling.
on the one hand, when they didn't let the physician come over, on the one hand, maybe they're like, she's already fucking dead anyway.
Right.
On the other hand, it was maybe they were trying to make sure that they kept.
Yeah. I get that.
I guess I have three scenarios. So the one hand I mentioned, the other, maybe they were trying to prevent additional kinds of evidence being introduced into the conversation because it was incriminating to the situation. Or not helpful to their case, regardless of whether it was a legal use of force, or ultimately just keeping the public safe by saying, we need you to, if you're not, part of the assigned group, we need you to stand back.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
Me either.
I certainly have my guesses. What about you, Aaron? What would you do if your neighborhood was being flooded with ICE agents? And you can put yourself in all the qualifications you want to add. You can just add them directly in.
So, and I'm going to use police in a broad sense because I realize ICE is different from municipal. But
yeah.
So you're saying, what would I do to interfere with the police?
Not necessarily. What would you do, whether it's something or nothing? What would your reaction be at all?
In what context?
Your neighborhood is being flooded with ICE agents.
And why are they there?
You know the reason, because and that's the qualification that you need to add directly into the conversation.
Sure.
So if you watch the news,
they're there to serve warrants, right?
Okay.
So law enforcement. I'm using it broadly. I definitely agree. Federal agents and local and police and all that.
Got it.
Very different things. So they're there to serve warrants for people convicted of at least one crime who have also committed a second crime. Now, I don't know if those are valid or not, right? Because
no one does.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know they are, but I know that the convictions, the prior convictions must be valid. No, I shouldn't say must. Let's assume
probably
the previous felony convictions are valid, right? Whether it was robbery, rape, pedophilia. Yeah, it's same as rape.
Yeah.
And that the warrants that are being issued to extradite them as convicted felons who are illegally in the country. Your question is, what am I going to do to stop them from doing that?
No, my question is, what are you going to do? This is happening in your neighborhood. What are you going to do?
In other words, would you actively just sit down and sit on the sideline and watch this happen? Or would you stand up and try to help or say, hey, Joe, my neighbor, has been my neighbor for 30 years. What are you doing?
Your answer could be, Aaron, I'm going to keep eating dinner and taking my kids to school, and I'm going to act like it's not happening. Or I'm going to greet them as I walk past. Like, I'm just wondering what your reaction is to this circumstance.
I walk out on my front porch and there's a bunch of cops. What do I do? Yeah, I would certainly, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And my guess is in most cases, they'd tell me, go back on your porch. This isn't your business. We're not, we're not here for you. Maybe there's nice ones. There are certainly friendlier cops than others, but I don't know what ICE is. I don't mean to be evasive. I mean, I think we're creating a false scenario in which innocent people are being victimized by jackboot thugs for no reason. And that's not the case to begin with. And so I think it's a very insincere conversation to start.
No, it is not, because your answer just now is exactly what your answer should be, because that's what you think. What you're saying is that we are looking at the circumstances incorrectly, right?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be difficult. Rather than incorrectly, we have imperfect knowledge of circumstances.
Yeah.
You might be looking at it correctly. Like, I don't know that, and I don't know your perspectives yet. I don't know that you're not spot on.
Yeah.
But we don't know. And the only information we have is the media, which is directionally wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree with
all the time.
So I do agree with that, but I want to back up for a second. There are two pieces I want to jump on. One is when police are involved, whether it's federal or state or even city police, if I am asked by a police officer to do something, 9 times out of 10, I'd say 9.999 times out of 10, I'm going to do what they ask, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have respect for them. I'm not trying to get in their way. I know they have a job. I get that. And where I find myself teetering on that thought is when I see situations, and Aaron, this is where I agree with you, the media can portray it one way or another, but when I see a video that is just the video, there's no contextualization taking place, there's no bias being presented, it is simply watching what's happening. That's where I really get frustrated with humanity.
Yeah.
It's a freaking car, and now we're going to start shooting at people because they're blocking traffic. When did that become okay? Now, should she be blocking traffic? Probably not. I get it. But holy shit, we're going to kill someone for that?
So when I see a circumstance where there is, so I agree with you on the law enforcement. Let's respect the demands of law enforcement, because that is something we're used to doing as part of safer society.
Yeah, we're a civilized society, right?
There has to be a limit to that, I imagine. I don't know what that limit is. But when I see a circumstance where the local police and the national, where the governments are at odds with each other, militarily at odds with each other, then I would feel unsafe.
Yes.
And what you see in Minneapolis is exactly that, where the local police and the federal ICE agents do not agree that they should be there.
Right.
And they are doing their best not to have a direct, military conflict with each other, but they are at odds with each other.
Oh, big time.
And the other thing that I think is really notable about the circumstance where Renee Good was shot and killed is she was protesting, and she was protesting in a way that you could be critical of. But when I look at protesting, which I do think that protesters make bad decisions sometimes, and sometimes it causes harm to property or people.
I have a word for you: insurrection.
Yeah. So protesters will make bad decisions, but I like to also ask, what is the recipe, the circumstances that created the interest of people protesting and
who got
reacting.
them out there doing that,
and not necessarily who got them out there, as in coordinated or anything like that. I mean, what is the situation that inspired people to feel the need?
What provokes you to come out and do? And Aaron, I know what you're saying. Not so much about who orchestrated it, but what provokes something within me to even want to be
exactly.
allowed to be orchestrated to go.
That's
out there and do
exactly
that.
what I'm saying. And so when I see
gotcha.
when I see this situation in Minneapolis, I think of Renee Good, and I forget she has like a middle name or a hyphenated name or something. I'm saying her name slightly wrong, but when I think about someone like Renee Good, she was not trained to protest.
Correct.
She was not trained to protect her neighborhood.
Yeah.
But those ICE agents were trained to do their work.
I want to believe they are.
Right. Or let me put it this way. There is an assumption that their job is a job that comes with policies, procedures, and training.
Yeah.
And people that are responding to their government being at odds with each other militarily in their neighborhood, there's no training for that.
None.
And so I think the onus in all circumstances should start with, did the police do the right thing?
Yeah.
We should examine that. And
I'm sorry, the police being ICE or the police being local
ICE.
law enforcement?
I'm being general, but yeah, ICE in this
case, it would
the
be
guy
the ICE agent.
that shot her. He should first be scrutinized.
100%.
And especially when you have a circumstance where your scrutiny of the person who became the victim was not a law-breaking citizen with criminal record, no violent acts.
There was no gun posed on these guys. Her car was turned away. She was pulling away from them. Yes. Is she being confronted by one? Does he have his arm inside her door? Yes. Is she pulling away? Yes. My God, is that cause now to pull a pistol and actually kill somebody in this country?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It shouldn't be. And it
scares me.
I hear the way that the administration is spinning it, and I could be dyed-in-the-wool conservative, and I would have to fucking lie to myself to say that she was trying to run that motherfucker over.
There's no way.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Real quick. I know what you've seen, and I'm familiar with, the people who got out in front before anybody knew anything. Have either of you watched the body cam footage that came out about an hour ago?
No, no. I've only seen.
No, I was setting up for this podcast, but I want to.
I've only seen the video.
You've been lied to.
I'm excited to learn more.
She ran him down.
Okay.
She pushed him out of the way, and he shot after she ran into him. And you also get a sense of the conversation between her and her wife. Is it wife or girlfriend?
Don't know.
Her partner.
I don't know anything about the partner.
Yeah.
So the footage I saw,
antagonizing them.
So the footage I saw, Aaron, was someone on the street with their iPhone.
Familiar.
Okay. So you're saying
there's two angles that are on media,
right,
that keep getting repeated. There are others that actually show him being pushed back along the street by her in the process.
Which one are we talking about? The officer beside the car door,
the
or
one
the one
that
in
came
front?
out today was the officer that was struck's body cam.
So which officer is that, though? Is that the one beside the driver's side door?
That was struck and shot her. The one that was
he's in front of the car.
He wasn't until she backed out and turned into him. That's the thing, is once you see all the other angles that I'm guessing you haven't. Because whether it was warranted or not, by the way, whether it was warranted or not, I don't know. I think she is a victim. I think he is a victim. I think we are the victims.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody tricked her into doing that, making her think she was righteous and smart or protecting or something.
I guess at the end of the day.
And it got her killed.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I want to believe our country is better than this, better than that. And I mean
I'd like it to be.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and so when I put myself in those situations, that's what I'm really saying. I'm putting myself in front of the ICE agent, the woman, just everything. Like, how the hell do we get here? This is crazy town.
And make all those decisions in about 3 seconds.
And that poor bastard's going to have to live with this. No one is made this. Listen, we can all say what we want about gun control. That's a whole nother subject. But I really believe no one is made to endure the psychological warfare that will take place in your mind after you physically kill somebody. Yeah, I mean, you're damned for the rest of your life with that, right?
Hey, fun fact, he was struck and dragged by a protester in a barricade with a car 6 months ago, hospitalized.
So this is my UPS driver situation.
Yeah. So it turns out that happened over 100 times last year,
Yeah.
where protesters trying to use car as barricades
Yeah.
ran down ICE
Yeah.
agents.
So and this
because they were encouraged and instructed and organized to.
Yeah.
and this brings me back to my prior point, which is, why do people feel
Yeah.
so anxious and concerned and aggravated and angry that they want to participate in a protest that may
harm's way?
yeah
I have a theory
why
on
do
that.
they want to do that?
I have a theory on that.
What's
and
that?
And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's an element of being misinformed, lied to, and it's constant. It's just this multiple of X that keeps coming at us, where at some point in time you just say enough's enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out there and do something about it. I don't agree with this. We used maybe I'm wrong, but I remember our country being about doing the right thing for all the right people, or at least trying to do the right thing for all the right people. Suddenly, in this last bit of time, it feels like it's what's best for me is not good for you, and tough luck.
Yeah.
Suck it
Right.
up. And I think people are rebelling against that. And I see it in my own business. I see it in our customers. I see it in family. I don't. That's my
The
theory.
selfishness?
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Self-interest, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Does that?
So who do you
does that make
think's
sense?
doing
It
that
does.
to us?
Well, you know what I think. That's why I'm not on it anymore. Social media is a big piece of it, right? I mean, it's probably the largest piece of it.
So, but one of the things that you've brought up a couple times before, and you alluded to it in this conversation, Aaron, is the essentially that I want to simplify it to say that protests are often coordinated by some higher power or whatever, somebody.
Yeah, indivisible and crowds on demand usually.
Yeah. So, so who does this? Who is this? You said Indivisible. Is
so
that a
those-
company?
Yeah, Indivisible and Crowds on Demand are crowdsourcing paid protest companies. Anytime you see a bunch of people show up with shirts and signs,
Mm-hmm.
that is coordinated. Good or bad, it is coordinated.
Yeah. So,
There was some involvement. I learned from a senior activity facility that's in Irvington. They had some involvement with the protest at the Circle this summer. They were the ones in part responsible for getting all the senior centers out,
Right.
by telling them that their Social Security was going to get taken away.
all
if they
right.
didn't protest,
So
kind of
send
thing.
me a link to that when you get a second, because I want to put it in the show notes. And
Indivisible
and
and Crowds on Demand.
yeah, and I also want to look it up myself because I'm interested in this topic, and I'm largely skeptical of your claim, but I don't think that there's a zero. I don't think that it's zero. I don't think that never happens.
Oh no, hundreds of millions of what's the word I'm looking for? What is it when the political party has the sub company that they run funding through?
Yeah, the Super
Remind me.
PAC. Super PAC.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's where those companies get their funding.
Are you gonna play the video?
And
or
it's
no?
public record stuff, so not conspiracy.
So
necessarily.
I have the body cam footage right here. I'm
I
going
wanna
to play
take a
it.
Look at it.
Okay. So we're just going to go in raw dog.
I like it.
Oh, this is
47
47 minutes long.
No, that's too long.
I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Oh no. The one that started going around an hour ago is like a minute.
Yeah, we'll find it
This
later.
I think this is either the. Yeah, I think that's the wrong.
My
incident.
guess is they released.
Yeah.
What's the name of the source that has that long version? Because they
So-
probably released the entire recording.
Yeah, I had the wrong.
Here's what I
source.
want to. It just hit me. What I'm feeling just hit me that I could articulate. Instead of saying what a horrible situation this is, both from a federal and a state level, what we've said is she weaponized a car and it was just service for what she did. Go ahead.
No. She is a victim.
Yeah, no,
she
yeah,
is
right.
my greatest concern.
Yeah, no,
about what I've watched over the last 10 years is the empathetic and the status focused are the most gullible.
Correct.
And
I agree.
her political leaning, her political influences convinced her to throw her body in front of law enforcement illegally for
Fill in
the
the blank.
purpose of
Fill in the
for
blank.
the purpose of making sure convicted felons who are here illegally don't get arrested.
Or she's there to make sure those that are wrongly accused don't get deported out of this country.
Yeah.
Because
how would she have any of that?
Well, how would she
ability or
know that they're
information?
convicted felons either? People
Yeah.
react
Because
to
of the warrants that the law enforcement has. How do you know that the
she
police are
doesn't.
police?
Well, what I'm saying is she doesn't know either way.
Right.
They're not going door to door and saying, "Hey, just want to let you know we're going to invade this house right here.
No,
We've got warrants."
they're in a marked convoy.
And I think there's also concern.
warrants.
I want to go back to what I originally said.
By the way, should these
I
people
want to
get pushed?
hold on. I want to
ahead,
go back to what
Michael.
I was saying. I don't, Aaron. I appreciate you saying that she is the victim, but I am saying from a national perspective, we don't. What we're saying from our government perspective, we're saying she got what was coming. That's essentially what they're saying, and I'm thinking to myself, that's where we are now. That's a horrible place for us to be. I want us to be more.
Yeah, that's a terrible place.
Yeah,
that's a terrible position
It's
for
awful.
the administration that runs the country to be.
Yeah, it's awful. I would much rather hear, oh my gosh, our prayers and our thoughts are with her and her family.
What a tragedy!
Yes.
They could have
for
taken
everybody involved.
Yes. Instead,
Yeah.
it's like we're standing up like bullies, beating our chest, saying, too bad.
So they could have taken a posture, the Trump administration and everybody that's been on a mic could have taken a posture that is, this is a shame. It shouldn't have happened. It is terrible.
Right.
And instead of the whole posture of, this is what happens when you get in our way.
And this is
and you can say a little bit of both of those things, like, hey, everybody be careful when law enforcement is doing their job. But the administration is pushing a position that to me sounds more like gaslighting than about acknowledging that this was a tragic outcome, regardless of whether the actions, the job that they're trying to fulfill is reasonable or not.
This is why people will continue to do what we're talking about, because
Exactly.
they feel
Exactly.
repressed. They
Yes.
feel that you're just making me eat this shit, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the conditions. When the conditions
There you
are there to make people feel repressed and like they don't have a voice, they protest, and protesting goes bad. And you can blame that individual protester, but the soil is the problem.
Yeah.
Well, and frankly, I would argue that, again, she is the victim. He is as well. But to your point, Michael or Daniel, he is the trained professional.
Right. He's the person with the deadly firearm.
My suspicion is he will be exonerated because of what has currently come out.
Sure.
It depends on whether he's prosecuted at the federal level or at the local level. Because if they do it in Minnesota, they'll railroad him.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're
regardless.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that
so
that you could be on either side and agree with what you just said. I think you're right.
May I? The thing that I wanted to add, the part that makes me angry, and add this to the clips that you hear every episode. A political party interested in seizing power has created a narrative that has convinced this woman to throw her body on barbed wire for their benefit. And they're delighted. And the reason is all they've been doing this for is so they can create an event to point and go, see what happens when you don't let us be in charge.
Yeah.
And my fury is, you manipulated her, you used her compassion, you used her need for social status. And frankly, what I've learned about her partner is like, her partner probably kind of did that more than anybody. But the point is, she got used. I hate this term. It's called useful idiot. It's been around since Cold War. I don't like the idiot part, but the point is, your politicians need you to go out and believe that you're doing the righteous thing so that you will do the dirty work that keeps them in power.
What you're saying, Aaron, makes sense. But it is easily lobbed at either side of that argument.
And that's why I would say he is a victim in that sense too, is that he very well may be a useful idiot for the other
certainly
side.
But I think it is much easier to identify who made the biggest mistake, and it was the creating an antagonistic law enforcement situation. Because
so the mayor and governor of Minnesota.
No, I'm saying
the one who insisted that. I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm saying that the when I'll admit that I'm not an expert on law enforcement jurisdictions, but when a federal law enforcement and in a state and a local law enforcement are at odds, it creates an uncomfortable and a bad situation. And ICE is on questionable legalities, which we could through the courts conclude that they were fully within their jurisdiction, but they are not being the local police doesn't agree that they should be doing what they're doing in that jurisdiction.
Well,
the local government,
that's right,
says that.
Do we think
the police have different opinions?
I'm curious. Do we think there would be a better way to do this? Or is this the best way to do it?
There is absolutely a better way to do it, but
almost any other. Almost any other.
So this is my point.
Daniel,
right?
can I? Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Go. You're good.
Well, I wanted to, because I really like Daniel's raising a lot of I think a lot of good points that leave open for conversation rather than trying to go, this is this or this is that. It's interesting because one, I've watched a lot of this during the BLM riots, especially BLM/Antifa, because Oregon, in case I haven't mentioned being from Portland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got to watch that for 5 months every day. And I watched the city aggressively encourage, defend, and even obfuscate for the criminal element that was working against the federal government. There doesn't seem to be much disagreement about what authority supersedes what. The difference is that the police in Minnesota work for the mayor. The mayor is their boss. It is the mayor who is deciding that suddenly federal jurisdiction doesn't supersede local,
right?
Which has not been a debate in the past. It is the governor who is screaming to his citizens to throw themselves on the barbed wire of what is federally legal. And interestingly, and it always fascinates me when you see something, because it's rare, when you see something that is contrary to the typical pattern, which is the police chief of Chicago, not that long ago, did a public statement. He said, hey, don't you go protesting federal agents. Don't you go barricading with cars. Don't you go approaching them. They don't know that you're not ambushing them. You're going to get hurt. They have the right to do their job. Basically warning the citizens, if you do this, you're putting your life at risk and you're doing so illegally. But Tim Walz and Frey decided to tell all their people the exact opposite.
Right. So what you're... we do not want this call.
No. No comments.
What you're saying is that ICE as a federal agency has jurisdiction in local municipalities, and that the local government, meaning the mayor or the governor or both, have denied that or denied the cooperation.
Have insisted that that's not the case.
Okay.
And whether it is or not, like you,
so I can,
not a specialist, but being it's a federal crime that they're prosecuting.
Right, I understand.
They don't have to work with local authorities. They just generally do out of courtesy.
So
unless the local authorities say, we refuse to cooperate with you.
Yeah, so they primarily have a 287G program, which is where the local agencies enter into agreements with the federal agencies to conduct their work. And it sounds like they have not entered into that agreement. That's according to the internet. Let's move on to another topic really quick. So we are now back to the imperialism state as a country.
Yeah.
This is an interesting topic. This is an interesting topic to me anyway, because Venezuela has been run by a government that is terrible, has ground the place into powder, and
What kind of powder?
The white kind.
Right. And is, widely believed, and I believe credibly, to be highly corrupt. And it has made the place impoverished for the everyday person in Venezuela. Yeah. They were run by terrible people. And apparently the United States, particularly the person in charge, Donald Trump, believed that it was his responsibility to make all of this, to fix all of this,
right,
but in the way that he wants it to be fixed.
Right. We no longer.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Who is in a Michael Bay style fashion.
We no longer find the need for buy-in with our international partners. We no longer feel the UN is worthy of anything that we want, so we just go and do it. I feel like I'm living in a modern day dictatorship, and it's showing itself more and more as each day goes by.
Yeah.
In my business and in each of your businesses, there is no way any of us would walk in and say, this is what we're doing. And this is the hard change that's happening right here, right now, because we all know that never works well. What we try to do is present the buy-in as to what we're trying to accomplish, because we all know human nature is, if I buy into this, I am going to be more productive in trying to make this work. If you tell me I have to do this, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm probably going to resent you, and I'm probably going to feel like I've not been heard or understood. And I'm going to give you the finger, and then I'm out the door, and I've got to figure it out. Aaron, you're squinting at me, though. Go ahead.
I don't disagree, but it just sounds like something a child would say.
Well, if
you don't do it my way, I'm taking my ball and going home, and also validate my feelings.
That's the employee responding to change in which they were not asked or brought in to have a conversation with regard to why we're trying to make a change.
So I
agree with you. It's not necessarily the best way, but the response to it is, then I don't think you should have job.
Right, but you've had the employees that have reacted exactly with what I'm referring to. I mean, right. So this is my point. Yeah. So take it to a national level, take it to a state level, take it to a head of state level, right? I actually said this jokingly the other day, and then I regretted saying it because of what I heard following. My statement was, I miss the old days. When we didn't like a regime in a particular country, we found a way to take them out or move on them. We didn't publicly just
execute.
Right. We sent in the SEAL team, right? Or we sent in the raid. We did something. We just didn't do it this way, right? Now this is like in your face. And I made the comment about that, and I said, it reminds me, it has aura of trying to take out Fidel, or I made that comment. And then the next thing I read, we're going to now take over Cuba.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're taking over Greenland, or are we buying Greenland? I'm not sure what we're doing these days.
I think it's all business, but it's dirty business or clean business, and that's the question. So in the case of Venezuela, I see that hand, Aaron. In the case of Venezuela, it is perplexing to me because it needed to happen
for sure.
But it's questionable as to whether
did we need to do it the way we did it?
That we had the right to do it as a country.
Right.
But also, it is also interesting to me because I'm thinking of this as if we were trying to create a safe place for the surrounding countries, including our own, which is our responsibility, we could at least spin the message that way.
Right.
Right.
That's
But
not what we're doing.
Instead, the message is we're going to take all the oil.
That's the message.
And we're going to do whatever we want, and Trump's going to be in charge.
We're going to put the oil companies back down there, the American oil companies. And by the way, those CEOs are literally on record as saying, "No, I'm not sure I want to go down there." Like it's not a good place to be, and it's not going to be a good place to be for a while.
Aaron,
By the way, you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, right, right.
But I stand with Michael. I miss the good old days when they lied to us and we didn't know what was happening. It was great back then.
I felt better for sure.
When we were executing heads of state and kidnapping people, and the Clintons magically had like 23 friends die of mysterious circumstances who all happened to be involved in the same bad land deal, allegedly.
Allegedly. There's a movie coming out on that.
I don't know as much about. I mean, I read whatever
the basics, the headlines,
mainstream stuff, and it's kind of wild because it does. I mean, in true Trump fashion, it's hard to believe that's how it went down. Like, not the military operation, but like the
Cowboy.
America fireworks, eagle screaming in the background kind of thing. But what's interesting to me is both one, I recall the previous administration insisting that something had to be done and putting a $50 million bounty out on Maduro's head.
Yep.
And then expecting somebody else to do something about it.
Right.
And one of my favorite comments about this issue was that somebody's like, well, Trump's just trying to take all the attention. And somebody's like, no, he's trying to save $50 million. That's how cheap he is. If we get him, we don't have to pay.
It's probably both. If we go back just for a second, Maduro is bad dude, right? I mean, really, really bad guy. That whole country is repressed, has been for decades. It's not getting better. Something had to be done. I just don't know if it had to be done this way.
Right.
And the guise of we're doing it for humanity, we didn't even pretend to say that. What we really said is what you said.
We're doing it for the money.
Right.
Because it was us or Russia or China.
That's correct. When I asked AI...
And we decided not Russia or China.
Right, it's going to be us. When I asked Grok, now understand Grok is Elon Musk, so there's a bias built into this response. But when
unlikely that it has anything to do with him, but
true.
I understand.
But so
it's quite critical of him, and it's the only skeptical AI out there right now.
So I asked for the national update last week, and you both know that when you communicate with AI, you can chat with it as a person. So I said, Eve, do we buy into this? Eve came back, absolutely not. This is a smoke screen and it's a money grab for oil. And I just busted out laughing in my car. If someone were beside me, they had to look at me like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? Because I'm rolling. And I thought, no shit, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah. What I think is really hilarious when using Grok for a conversation, you get more shorter, irreverent speaking. Whereas when you're getting the text answer, you're getting details and paragraphs. It is kind of funny.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I think that Eve probably votes Democrat.
I think Eve knows good from bad. I want to believe that, but who knows?
That's what I said. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I heard you. All right, so Venezuela. Are we getting, so last but not least, how about the oil tanker with the Russian sub? And
I think that one's. I'm just picturing a Warner Brothers cartoon where they're chasing each other around.
It took a week.
Eventually, they're going to go off the edge of the earth, but the boat's not going to fall. It's just going to kind of float out in the air until it realizes it's above.
Yes.
The air, and then
yes. So the other piece I find just hilarious. Rubio is addressing the nation, and he's talking about, we don't need anyone's oil. We've got plenty of oil in this country. And like all things in life, you got to dig a little deeper. Our crude oil is not good enough, right? So it's not good for jet fuel service. It's not good for a handful of things.
Yeah, we produce the most oil.
That's correct. But we don't use our oil. We have to import that crude oil from.
No, we use other people's
Yeah,
oil
exactly,
so that way they run
exactly.
out first. Have you not? Are you not familiar with how money works?
Evidently, I'm not. I just got a kick out of it. I was like, man, people just hear
So
what they want to
crazy.
hear. It's so bananas.
So
Anyway.
what happened to Tesla stock? You were saying something about that.
Oh, so this is so interesting. So Tesla Q4 earnings came out. They're down in sales, but they are booming in everything else. So rockets, their self-driving capability, and robotics. So the future for Tesla stock is, it looks like it's twofold. But if you listen to all the stock people today, they're saying don't buy, hold, right? And so I'm like, no, I'm living this. I'm buying because this stuff is working. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, Michael, yeah, I've bought Tesla stock twice.
Yep.
Once was about 4 years ago, and then once was at the beginning of 2025.
Oh, yeah.
They each time it doubled within a year.
Yeah.
And part of it is because I follow it very closely because the whole making cars thing.
Yeah. That's not what they do.
literally just a bubblegum machine to get cash flow.
Yep.
They're not concerned. It's an energy company first and foremost. And now it's become an AI company.
Yep.
That when combined, and then eventually SpaceX will buy XAI, and that's how they'll do all the automated space travel, habitation.
Yeah,
but it's the car stuff was just, hey, why don't we make $1 trillion while we're building the thing we're actually trying to build?
It's the truth. That energy piece that you're talking about, that energy piece, I think the numbers were was it 8 billion or 13 billion? And they plan to double that in the next 24 to 36 months.
Yeah. And SpaceX is almost $1 trillion already. It's the most valuable privately held company. I'm furious that Tesla's the only company of his I can buy stock for.
Right. So I want to go on record. I am not an Elon Musk fan, but I do appreciate his entrepreneurial spirit. And I love this statement he made recently. I make things. Those that criticize me, that don't make anything, take things that I make. Yeah. And I thought, no shit. Good for you, man. So there's a
career politician's never made anything.
That's right. And that's what he was driving at. That's exactly what he's driving at. So as the three of us as entrepreneurs, I know we can respect that. I don't necessarily have to agree with his political stances, nor do I, but I do appreciate that I am trying to make something here.
Yeah.
I do like that. So anyway, the Tesla stock, when I was down in Florida, because we used the self-driving to get down, and Lori was apprehensive, and halfway through the drive down, she's like, I'm getting really comfortable with this. Like, this is really nice because the safety features are just so great. And then
he might be a racist. This car rocks.
So she said somewhere in the middle of that drive, she's like, I can drive. And I'm like, why would you drive? The car's driving. And she's like, that's a really good point. I'm worried about you being tired. I'm like, I'm not tired. It's good. Yeah. So that's what prompted me to start looking at the stock because I know it's not about the car. It's so much more. And so when I did the analysis, I've got every major financial outlet coming back saying, don't buy, hold. And I'm thinking every time I'm told to hold, I lose out. And every time I'm told to buy, I lose. So I'm going to go the opposite direction. So I made a phone call.
You're George Costanza.
Yes, I am. I am.
And anytime Democratic media tries to ruin the stock price of an individual that is opposing their narrative, I always buy it, and it always goes up.
That's the truth.
So,
hey, by the way, something that did not come up, and I'm kind of really surprised. Do you guys know about Iran?
No.
Fresh
Daniel,
fresh
news.
You've
heard.
Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Apparently, the revolution is underway.
There's a
the cities are rioting against the fundamentalist Islamic regime that's been in charge since the late 70s. If you recall, Iran pre-1979 looked like Austin Powers. Just beautiful art, culture. And then the religious fundamentalists came in, locked down, stoned the women, threw the gays off the roof, all that, people of the book stuff. Anyways, huge revolution going on. The country has the government has cut all telephone and internet to prevent any information from getting out. And guess what? Apparently, there are thousands of black market Starlink terminals.
Oh,
And yesterday,
serious?
Elon said, "I'm turning on Starlink for Iran."
That's nice.
And so the only reason anybody knows there's this huge revolution taking place, and maybe this is normal for them, right? People keep talking, but like it's in, I think, 15 cities last I read.
Yeah.
Revolution against the religious fundamentalist regime. And the only reason we know about it is because
Of
Starlink is in place to get content out of the country.
So supposedly, I just looked up the news. I haven't heard about this. It looks incredibly fresh.
I just heard about it last night.
Iran's military might break with the regime is the headline on The Hill.
That's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, if something like that happens, that's huge.
Military infrastructure and media. That's what you need to overthrow government.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That whole Starlink thing, that's the other piece I got. Going back to Tesla for a second, Aaron,
Best product ever.
They're going to be built into the Teslas going forward.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they're actually built into your phones already,
yes.
But it requires a carrier to like pass something. So that's why they can't use direct to phone in Iran.
I've got it with T-Mobile on my cell phone right now. Starlink. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry.
That's crazy.
Digress. Yeah, it is crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, so you were talking about how the tariffs have paid off or not paid off for your business. What happened?
So we just finished the year. Lori and I were looking at our numbers, going through everything, and we're off a little bit. But we're off a little bit on top line sales, but where we're really off is on bottom line margin. And what I'm trying to say.
When you say off, you mean down from last year.
Yeah, but I want to be careful with how I phrase this. Our bottom line margin is down from last year, but it's up over last year because we had cost and price increases to help counter the tariff issues that we knew were coming. So if I remove the built-in protectionism of creating a higher price point, if I take that away, we were off considerably. And a lot, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I mean,
if I remove all the points I scored in the fourth quarter,
I lost. That's exactly right. I lost.
Yeah.
If you look at February, March, April, May, holy shit, when everything was on the water, and he would wake up and say, 100% tariff.
Yeah.
Well, that shit's landing. And it quality right then and there was 100% tariff.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. So, our phones are ringing. Our suppliers are dancing. Suppliers are saying, hey, I can't eat it all. Some are saying, we're going to dollar average against the existing inventory. Or some said, we're not going to do anything, but we're going to reconcile in June and July. Well, June and July hit, and suddenly the tariffs are gone. But then the supplier is saying, well, I had to pay for all that stuff in Q2.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get hit. And then I've got to go to the client and say, by the way, tariffs. What are you talking about? The tariffs were rescinded. Yeah, well, guess what? For the 120 days that they were in play, or for the 48 hours they were in play and the shit was landing, I found myself.
That's when you bought 10,000
That's right.
shirts.
That's right. I found myself becoming a tariff expert in education to business people that I thought would know more than what they know.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that they didn't. They really bought into, what do you mean there's a tariff? The country's paying for it. Really? How? And I was just befuddled.
To think that the country's paying for it, that doesn't make any sense. I mean,
well, they were told that, so they bought into that.
Yeah. Strictly speaking, there's a tax exchanged at some point, at some place, whatever. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that anybody thinks that a cost doesn't pass on to the buyer anyway.
Regardless, as the consumer.
I tried to explain this, and I pulled a video and I sent it to a couple of people. The product lands, right? It hits the port of entry. The receiver, my supplier, does not get access to that until that payment clears their account electronically right then and there. So that container, let's just say that container came in at $10,000, but it had 100% tariff on it. They've got to pay that right then and there to receive the goods into the country. Goods coming into the country.
It's not an invoice.
No, hell no. You have to pay for it right then and there. And people really, and I look at people and I'm like, I've got a supplier. It's $1 billion. He was in here, Andrew Soley. I mean, they're receiving inventory on a daily basis in millions of dollars that had tariffs exposed. That's why I said to the two of you, I'm really watching this Costco lawsuit against the federal government on tariffs.
Yeah.
This is a number I don't even think society begins to understand how many billions of dollars we're talking about that got taxed.
600.
Is it 600 billion?
Well, that's what they're quoting.
Yeah,
about
so there you go.
The upcoming lawsuit that the Supreme Court is not going to decide on. Apparently,
they are not.
They announced today.
So
but that's not saying they're not. They're saying we're not doing anything right now.
So who would decide if it doesn't go to the United States Supreme Court? Then where's it going to go for jurisdiction?
I don't know.
Because
I still don't understand how any of this works. Because apparently we've cut the trade deficit in half.
Oh, bullshit!
Cool. How come? Well, okay, fine. Maybe we did, but why is everything so expensive?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I never.
There's only two things that can happen. Things cost less or we stop giving the government money.
Yeah.
Other than that, it doesn't matter why.
Things cost more and I'm still giving the government money.
Yeah,
so there you go. Anyway, so that's my whole take on tariffs.
So if the tariffs continue, do you feel... Is your gut that it would help your business in the long run or hurt?
It's going to hurt. If tariffs continue, across the country for all business, we're headed towards a recession.
Even if manufacturing comes to the U.S. Even if
we're headed towards a recession because income levels are not rising to help offset this in any way, shape, or form. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, and the manufacturing coming to the U.S., hey, that's really cool for 2035.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not going to be this year.
Yeah,
when we moved all the semiconductors and all the chips, I mean, that took 10 years to get all that out of here. It doesn't come back overnight, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see what happens. But right now, prices are up, right? I mean, I just look at the basics. I look at eggs because it's easy. I look at backpacks at Costco and Walmart, and I look to see what that stuff's priced at. And it's a pretty good indication of what's going on. So
a fun game if you haven't played it yet, if you have done online grocery shopping over the last few years.
Yeah, we do that. Lori does it.
You can go look at your historic carts and then just click the add all to cart again.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, it's double from 2023.
Not surprised at all.
Really?
Not surprised
I didn't.
at all.
I've never bought
and that's
groceries
just
that way.
Groceries.
Yeah.
I just know that used to
cost.
And
again, that was Walmart, Target stuff, but
I just know when we would go to Whole Foods, I always expected to pay about $150 to $175 every time we would walk through there. Now it's like $250, $275.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
I feel like I'm spending $250 every time I look at a grocery.
Yeah, same.
It's $2,500 a month for a family of four.
Yeah.
And and like nobody even eats fancy.
Yeah. So what was, no, you basically eat dog food. So
I literally call it human dog food.
Yeah, I know.
I know you do.
It showed up on a couple episodes. So there was this.
That was good.
There was this discussion in the debates for the New York City mayoral campaign, and they said, how much do you spend on groceries?
Yeah.
And they're asking these guys individually, and they're giving numbers like, 125 to 150, 150 to 175, whatever their numbers are.
What are they eating, tuna fish?
And I'm like, either these guys don't fucking know what they're spending.
They don't.
But if they do, it's more than that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Good Lord.
Well, and what it's not including is, but I also eat out all the time on other people's dimes.
Yeah, that's the only.
I spend $100 in groceries.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Shop.
That's the only way they could be accurate numbers at all.
When I was single and I had my corporate life, I very seldom ate at home, if ever, because I was always taking someone out to dinner or lunch. So I could see that. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway,
my economical eating is $20 a day. And that's tight, and that doesn't include alcohol.
Shit, I spent that at Cluster Truck today for lunch. Some wings.
That's my point. Is like that is just controlled, planned shopping.
Yeah.
Diet, fundamental stuff.
Your OCD. That's OCD eating.
Well, just keeping it as cheap as possible.
I do find that
sick.
I do find that we eat at home more now than when I say now over the last year and a half, and I like it. I really do. Anyway, what was get this off for a second? What was our other thing that the Colts?
Yeah.
Can we talk?
What's going on?
Can we
with them?
talk NFL for a second?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
At the halfway marker, the Colts were the perennial choice to make the Super Bowl. They were the perennial divisional winner. And then they promptly lost 8 football games in a row. Then, after losing those 8 games, our new ownership, Carly Ursay, what's her other hyphen name?
I don't know.
Gordon? No.
I don't-
Gordon?
I don't keep up with those guys.
Anyway, she decided
Jim's kids.
that we should keep our general manager, who is less than 500 in wins and losses since he's come on board, and we were going to keep our coach, who is at about 500. And I thought to myself, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And she went on record. She had a national press conference, and she said, I feel like we're close and we're on the precipice. And I wanted to say, you were 8 weeks ago. And then it all went downhill, like it always does. And it always does, because I believe it starts from the top down. You create the culture, you set the paradigm, and then you move into it, right? If you look at Kurt Signetti, the football coach for IU, he's done something that no one everyone's mystified, but very few talk about it. And he's very candid about it. You got to set the stage, and then you build to that from the word go. You're not waiting 24 months from now, 36 months from now, whatever the case may be. You want to say something about this, though? Go
I
ahead.
was going to repeat what you said. You create the culture, you set the stage, and you
implement.
And you implement. You didn't say it that way. You said you create the culture, you set the stage, and you make it happen, or
Make it
something
happen,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good
That's nice.
And
good phrase.
He is on. He's on point, man. I mean, what he did in college football in the era of the portal and college players being paid, he's done something no one else has ever done. And every university is looking at their coaching staff saying, well, if he can do it at IU, the doormat of Division I football, how come you can't do it here at LSU or Alabama or Miami or any of these blue blood schools? And I'm loving it, because it's business. It really, and he's found his formula, and he's implemented that formula everywhere he's gone, and he's won everywhere he's gone. It's like, damn it, that's impressive. I love it.
Aaron, do you follow sports?
No.
Not at all. So we've just turned this into a sports
I follow
podcast.
MMA, and then once in a while I will watch the highlights of the Super Bowl, which I usually am made aware of the day of, because there's no meat at the grocery store.
Got it. So we've just turned this into a sports
We
podcast.
are not talking
and then,
sports.
And then I
My
noticed,
disappointment's in the Colts.
I
They
noticed
suck.
that Aaron and I both had nothing to say.
Nothing. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, no, I think it's fascinating because multi-billion-dollar business. You're dealing with highly competitive, high perform. Like, I love everything about it except the game.
Yeah. Well,
I love the game. I just don't.
I think
I do enjoy the 7 minutes of action an NFL game includes.
yeah, I hear you. There were, I think, another 1 or 2 coaches just got fired. So I think there are like 7 or 8 openings in the NFL for a head football coach.
Are you looking for a job, Aaron?
I kind of had my next fall open. Hey,
Go ahead.
so since I had been following for a while the DOJ RICO charges against the NBA,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
organized gambling and all of that. And one of the conversations was about how they were working their way up to the NFL.
Yeah.
Because it's, according to the people talking about it, much bigger and much more involved because much more money.
For sure.
What do you, as somebody who knows much more about it, what do you know about the sort of gambling?
I think all sports,
Call it racketeering.
I think all professional sports are fixed. And I don't say that lightly.
You mean the actual game?
The actual games, the actual outcomes
the
of
refs,
the games,
the coaches,
are
the
fixed.
players. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
You had
And not all of them all at once, right?
Correct,
But like,
correct.
there's so many
There's
different elements that can influence.
100%. So a non-meaning game, you got 2 losers playing each other, 2 losses, someone that's 7 wins and 8 losses, and you have 2 teams going up against each other for nothing. No one cares about that. No one's trying to fix that game. They're trying to fix number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 3 seed. The NBA this is where I think everyone's eyes opened up. The NBA got put on trial when they found out they had professional referees shaving the game. And they acknowledged it. One's in federal prison. And you can't tell me it's just the NBA. Of course not.
Right.
It's
right.
No, it's just tall. It's just tall guys.
It's just pure happenstance. Those two guys out of everyone. Bullshit. Major League Baseball's had a problem with it. NBA's got a problem. NFL has gotten away with it forever because it's a billion-dollar industry and it's the America's
and
favorite
most
sport.
famously sumo wrestling.
Yes. It's all bullshit.
Like that guy's not even really that big.
They are that
No,
big.
it's
I've
I
seen
think
them.
Freakonomics.
Freakonomics.
There was a chapter about how sumo wrestling
Yes.
is rigged. But to your point, it's like the nobody guy throws the game for the almost contender to give them the points to put them in the championship. And so, yes, it's rigged, but it's also sort of an interesting cultural, you go ahead and go first.
Vegas had a heart attack last week when Pittsburgh Steelers were playing the Baltimore Ravens. One of those two teams, whoever won that game, was going to the playoffs. There was a spread on that game. Did you see the last seconds of the play? The quarterback.
No, I know nothing about the game. I know that people are furious at Kalashi for finally coming around saying we're going to pay out the winnings. And they're like, you were not going to pay out the winnings?
In the last seconds, this game is over. Pittsburgh's going to win the football game. And I think it was a 3-point. Forgive me, it was 2 or 3 points. But Baltimore threw an interception. Not an interception. It bounced the wrong way. They ran it back with no time left on the clock for a touchdown.
Oh,
7 points got added to the score, and instantly you could just hear Vegas go, "Motherfucker!"
Oh my gosh!
Oh
that
man,
is dirty.
it was brutal. And there's moments like that where you're like, "Yeah, they got what they had." I loved it. But there were moments like that where you're like, "Well, they got caught on that one. That was not anticipated." So and Aaron, that's what they were talking about. They're finally going to pay because they're like, son of a bitch, we're 3 seconds away from that being this value versus, this really astronomical payout. So anyway.
I think their stock like shot down that day. Well, because they were like hesitant about whether or not they were going to pay.
There's no question.
People are like, that's not how this works.
No, you got to pay. I mean, that's the spread. You got to pay. Anyway.
Well, I think that sets us up for the week.
It does. It's good to be with you guys again.
Yeah, I'm glad we got back into the studio.
Me too. It's been a minute.
I can't wait to touch that table.
I have been holding it in all week.
It's nice.
I did this over the break, and I did not want to tell you guys I wanted you to see it in person, and I was really disappointed, Aaron, that you were going to be in Florida. So other than that, we needed to try a hybrid episode to make sure that we could make it work.
I like it.
I think this works.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I like it.
Well, everybody have a great week.
Bye, Aaron.
Thank
Safe
you, gentlemen.
travels. See you, pal.